Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Thank you for coming in. I'm here to do a general reading. I'm going to do a little bit of AstroTarology first for this one because we have a lot of strong cardinal energy still in the stars, as well as some potent moon action and some retrogrades. If you want to jump ahead to the collective reading, go right ahead. I'll put a timestamp in the description box below. But most notably right now, we have Saturn, Neptune, and Chiron all retrograde in the cardinal fire sign of Aries. Aries is all about taking action. It is all about putting yourself in the driver's seat. And when that's retrograde, it can be about holding back action, of course, because it is involving Neptune and Saturn. Neptune is the planet of dreams, illusions. It can be about confusion, but it's also about transcendence. And it is the ruler of the 12th house, which is the final house of the zodiac before you begin anew in Aries, right? So that's pretty interesting. But also when we have Saturn involved with that, it can be retrograding, taking a look at dreams from the past, things you wanted to create. Aries energy, the first sign, creating your life, creating your vision and your dream, things you wanted to create at some point in time. A lot of people say, okay, the retrogrades bring back people from the past. They can. I say they bring back energy. Now, whether that is revisiting an original dream, let's say that suddenly you feel very inspired by something or somebody that you see, and you're reminded, oh my goodness, like when I was in my 20s, I wanted to be whatever it is, fill in the blank. And life and circumstances and learning and other necessities, whatever the case, you went in a different direction. And it wasn't necessarily that that dream wasn't meant to be. It contained information about where you were building towards. So if retrograding energy brings around people or situations or dreams from the past, what it's doing is reminding you of the original vision, the original dream. Now, with Chiron involved, it can trigger some old wounds for sure. And also, they'll highlight maybe why the original time, the first time, it didn't happen the way you thought, or why you abandoned the idea in the first place. But nevertheless, it's like a revisiting of the opportunity to have what you said you wanted. It may come in the form of different things now because you're different. You've lived a life since then. You know what I'm saying? Building towards the new now is based on what you've learned since. In other words, Saturn always acts for our own good. So when it's retrograding and contacting the planet of our dreams, it's saying, have you learned certain things that are going to be required for you to sustain this dream, for you to truly have it the way you said you wanted it? Because maybe the first time all the building blocks weren't put into place, or the pieces weren't there, or whatever the case. We're dealing with Saturn. It is Capricorn's ruler. It's about doing things by the book, doing things the right way. If you try to skip any steps along the way, believe me, it will show later on, and you'll have to revisit that. We also right now have Jupiter and Venus in the cardinal water sign of Cancer. So very, very emotional and intuitive energy there. We have Mars in Libra, the cardinal air sign of Libra. The Libra is ruled by Venus, and to have Mars there, which is Aries ruler, we have Venus and Mars all over the astrology as well. So for many people, this could have to do with relationships, but not necessarily. Venus energy is all about whatever it is that we love, whatever it is that we wanted to create for our life, because we are the creators of it. And this is an opportunity, whether there's things or energies or opportunities from the past coming back around, this is an opportunity to revisit those steps and say, well, what do we truly want? Who are we now? And are the steps put in place to actually build and sustain what it is that we want? Right now, as I mentioned, we have 2 new moons in Virgo. We have one on the last day of Leo season and one on the last day of Virgo season. Virgo is the architect, and also about building sustainable structures, things that are going to feed you mind, body, and soul. So if at some point, say, a dream was deviated from in order to gain more a financial foothold, well, that's sustainable in the short term, but is it feeding you mind, body, and soul? If not, it's not going to be sustainable. Same with relationships. If, say, you opted to have relationships in your life that were based more on what makes sense or convenience, then again, it's not going to be sustainable. Your heart's going to be out of alignment, which can then affect everything, right? So when retrogrades this powerful happen, there's a big reason why. It's because we're about to be able to set our destiny going forward. In the new year, all of these planets retrograding Aries will move direct, and that will be time to implement and take action. Incidentally, we also have Pluto traveling retrograde right now, briefly, but still. And Pluto is about our deep psyche. It's about what we don't see. It can be about the things we deliberately hid from. So those can be coming to the surface right now as well. All of that being said, let me jump into the reading. It's going to be a general reading. For anybody, any sign, you'll know if it resonates with you. And it won't resonate with you exactly the way that I say it because it is a general reading. So take what fits for you as it does, if it does, and leave the rest behind. Let's start off with the blue deck. We'll just see where we go. I have no idea what this reading will be about. I just felt guided to explore all that cardinal energy and the reasons why. People are often like, oh no, my past is going to come back to visit. Well, it won't unless it needs to. And there's always an opportunity for you to finish something or learn something new. I'm not a big believer about revisiting the past as in staying there. There could be information for you. One more. Okay. What do we have? We have the journey. Well, this could actually be about traveling because she's holding a suitcase and walking into the sunset there. But it can be about your own personal journey unfolding as well. Let's see, or a journey in a situation. Interesting. Virgo energy with the magician in the mirror. Okay. The healer of the ages. I'm getting like quite a spiritual calling unfolding for you. And it could be that maybe going through things from your past. Remember, we have Chiron involved. Chiron is the wounded healer. And maybe you're going through your journey so far and gathering information about what you're meant for, who you truly are. You could definitely be a healer here. With the magician in the mirror, there could be somebody around you who is kind of guiding you through that. Oh, for sure, because we have the temple path. That is about our spiritual, it's about our anybody who is alive is walking the spiritual path. But with the temple path here, it's about what your true soul is calling you to do, the journey you're walking. Okay. But also, this could actually be you moving towards somebody who you think is in this situation, a healer. And then we have the angel of balance, which is temperance energy, Sagittarius energy. This is very, very spiritual. Okay. Let's see where this goes. Let's go to, you know what? I am actually going to get a little bit of astrology off the bat here. Number 2, 53, 51, and 12. 12 is the number of the hanged man in the major arcana, and we have the temple path. So it's kind of like, again, what's calling to you outside of your 3D reality. The magician in the mirror. Okay, let's have one more. I was not expecting this, but let's see where we go. Oh, that's lovely. We have Venus here now. I said that could be somebody around you with this temple path and the healer of the ages. Venus isn't just love, it's what we love. It's what makes us feel whole and beautiful and supported. It's also where we grow from. Venus is the Empress energy, what we create. But this is the journey of the heart. Okay. No, this one. Oh, beautiful. We have Scorpio energy. I say beautiful because Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. We have Pluto retrograde right now, but also it is the 8th house, which is the house of the unknown, the psyche, the unseen, the occult. There's a very spiritual situation unfolding here. You could be getting pulled towards somebody who's helping you see this part of you or unlock it in some way. The magician in the mirror. Pluto is a mirror. It shows us our own self. It shows us our own psyche. Virgo is showing up. Isn't that nice? And Virgo, like I said, look how those shafts of wheat are in the hands there. It's mind, body, soul. And I feel like you're meant to do some very like whatever this spiritual work is for you. We have the temple pass, so we're going to get into that. Healer, Virgo energy, healing. Interesting. And then we have the sun, the source, as they say in this deck, but the sun and the temple path. That's about enlightenment. Straight up. Wow. Let's see what's on the bottom. Oh, look what it is. It's Pluto. And underneath the Pluto in this deck, they call it rebirth. Well, Scorpio is death and rebirth, and we have that energy here. There's a transformation. I don't know why I said angel of balance over to the side, but I did. It's almost like the archangel is presiding over this. How interesting. One more, please. Oh my, we have Mars. We have Venus and Mars sandwiching the astrology here. Well, Mars is the masculine energy. Look at the hand clutching onto the hilt of that sword, which has a very phallic shape. But it is about taking control of your world, your life, and doing what your heart is calling you to do here, taking action. And I said there could be somebody around you, Venus and Mars, the magician and the mirror here. Together you can create this. Under here, it says journey, under progressions. That's interesting. Okay. Let's see. Do we want? No, you know what? I'm not actually. I'm feeling the lights here. Okay, lights here. I was going to say the good tarot, but I said lights here. I wasn't sure the direction this reading was going in. What are you thinking about? What's happening for you? The path unfolding. We have the Two of Wands. Look at her sitting in her living room, looking out the window at the great world beyond. This journey. The Two of Wands is a choice point, though. She hasn't left home. But something is calling you. And it's out there somewhere. You can see it. Yeah, okay, but it's calling you. The Nine of Swords. Well, when this spiritual path unfolds for you, again, I hate using that language. I will emphasize being alive is walking the spiritual path. But there's something very deeper happening in your soul here. And the Nine of Swords is in charge. Now that's Gemini energy. This is, okay, interesting. The Nine of Swords is stress and anxiety and trying to like figure out with the mind what the heart is telling you to do. We have Scorpio energy here. Can be that a lot's coming through to you in dreams. Now, I said interesting because underneath of that is the Queen of Cups, Cancer energy. Jupiter and Venus in Cancer. Your heart is being activated in a huge way. And it's via that this knowing, and we'll find out what that is unfolding for you. But I mentioned there could be somebody around you. Queen of Cups is very intuitive. And in this deck, you can see she's playing in the ocean of emotion. She understands how to use it. The magic involved, that's what she's doing. But you could also be a little bit anxious about that idea or that person. We'll clarify that Two of Wands. Let me see. How do you feel, though? What's happening in your heart here with this magician and the mirror? And Scorpio energy. What's happening? Scorpio energy. Death and rebirth. Transformation. That's what's happening. If you're resonating with this, you're definitely undergoing a transformation for a reason. You're being called. And we'll see where that's heading. Wow. I mean, look in this death mask. It's the horizon up above beyond the trees. Like, what's not here? I called out the hangman energy with the temple path. Well, the hangman doesn't have his feet on the ground. He's seeing from a different perspective. Now, maybe you were kind of removed from the 3D realities of life in one way or another. We'll see how that unfolds. But it gave you this kind of unfolding. What actions do you want to take here? We have the healer of the ages and death and rebirth. The Six of Swords. You want to move away from a place of internal confusion or conflict. The Five of Swords can be the stories that we're telling ourselves. It can be like using words against yourself in some way. This is you wanting to take everything that you've learned. Swords can be very sharp, but they are our mind. Everything that you've learned and move forward, taking that with you to a different horizon, which is what we have here. For some of you, you may want to leave behind where you're at. It could be a place, a situation, or people. Maybe it's a workplace and you're finding it very conflictual. That could be for some of you. And you know where you want to go. There's something you're curious about, somebody you want to speak to. Page of Swords. Okay. Let me see the energy surrounding you with the temple path here. Because this is what you're curious about and what you're moving towards. Okay. We have the Nine of Wands. This is the wounded warrior. By the time you get to the Nine of Wands, you've almost reached the completion of a certain cycle. So whatever this has been for you, yes, you're tired. We have the Sun and the temple path here. So it's been a hard fight, whatever this has been for you. I always call this my one more step to completion, though. And then here's the Sun. Let me see. Healing. Again, some of you could be going to see an actual healer of some kind. We have the Six of Wands. Interesting. The Six of Wands is about victory and success. It is about getting what you... I feel like this is somebody around you, though. I do. I'm going to clarify that a little bit further, but this is interesting. We have the Temperance card. I mean, I called it the Temperance because we have... Okay, focus. We have the Hierophant. This is Taurus's major arcana, but the Hierophant is very spiritual. I call this the Pope of the Tarot, right? This could actually, Six of Wands, Temple Path, and the Sun. This could be a spiritual leader or somebody that you see that way, that you feel maybe could offer you some kind of guidance or can be a part of what you're creating here. Let's see. What's the challenge for you? We have the Two of Swords, air energy. Two of Swords, we have Two of Wands and Two of Swords. Another crossroads. But this is about needing to make a decision using your intuition, not the mind, because you can't see clearly enough. We saw the Nine of Swords. There's something like you can't see clearly enough. You don't know where this journey, this path is going to lead you. You're being intuitively pulled there, that's for sure. You're just not so sure about where it's going to go. And maybe with this Six of Wands, I'm going to go deeper on the temple path and see if that's a person. I feel like it is. Let me see a potential outcome. You're definitely there. I mean, these are all majorly spiritual energies. Beautiful. We have the Chariot. Cancer's major arcana, Jupiter and Venus in Cancer. We have the Chariot right here. And we have a journey. For some of you, this could involve travel, for sure. But this is also about getting into alignment with your head and your heart so your life can move into the direction you want it to go in. It's victory. We do have the Six of Wands here as well, which is a card about victory. Okay. It's definitely about moving forward fast. So the Two of Wands, you know where you're going. The Chariot can actually be like traveling somewhere by car, by vehicle. Let's see. Let's clarify. Let me see the Two of Wands on your mind here. In the Two of Wands, I see this little VW bus down here in the corner. You probably can't see it. But I got car here as well. The King of Pentacles, Earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Well, the King of Pentacles isn't necessarily going to be all that comfortable with leaving his comfort zone. We have a strong internal calling happening here. For some of you, this can be about you leaving behind stability. I mentioned they're at home and they're looking out, right? Contemplating. Let me see the King of Pentacles and the journey. Yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, man, this is beautiful. We have the Emperor. And we didn't see the Emperor. Why did I say we already did? This reading is running away with me. The Emperor is Mars energy. It's divine masculine. Three of Wands, taking action. Incidentally, the Emperor is who drives the chariot. So you're contemplating this. But the Emperor and the King of Pentacles is incredibly serious energy. This is not somebody who takes stability lightly or the empire they want to build. But for you, we had the Sun come out with that Leo energy. And the Six of Wands, there's something that's got your curiosity piqued. Something that definitely makes you happy. It's activating your heart, like I said. And the Sun can do that. You could be dealing with a Leo. Let me see death and rebirth with that Scorpio energy. Because we have you moving towards the Sun, which is what you're looking at right there. Oh, wow. Oh, my. The Empress. Venus energy, which we see. So we have Venus and Mars coming out right here with the Sun. Well, this is the divine balance. So that's what sustains. And maybe in the past, there was not an Empress, or maybe you were not in the Emperor energy to be able to create what you wanted to. But anyway, transformation. And I said there could be somebody around you who's showing you this. Oh, weird, you guys. From a reading I did earlier with the Wild Unknown, we still have a Wild Unknown in this deck. It's the Emperor. Amazing. I'm going to put that back. But it was the Three of Wands, which is where that first Emperor was. Wow. And then the Eight of Wands, passion, action, Mars energy. Taking action on your dream, on what you want to build. You see it. And it does involve this Empress. So okay. The Four of Cups came out with that. Four of Cups is a time of emotional hesitation. But again, I think you're not very inspired where you are. I think you're dissatisfied. Okay. You could have been holding back, and then that Eight of Wands, you're done with that. Let me see the Six of Swords moving forward here. That Eight of Wands wanted to come out again. Too much passion to hold back. And I think before the Six of Swords comes the Five. So you definitely have been holding back and resisting. Again, it can be because you would have to leave behind a certain amount of stability. And that doesn't have to be financial, although it could be. But the King of Pentacles and the Emperor, that's also somebody who's responsible for a lot of people or situations. But we have the Chariot, which is about taking action. Eight of Wands, that's when the fire gate breaks open. Six of Swords, moving forward. Let me get one more with that Eight of Wands. That's a journey. Lots of cards about travel here. Oh, well, okay. We have the Tower, Scorpio, and Aries energy, Mars energy. But for me as a reader, we have some Aquarius with sudden change and Uranus there. I remember I said you can't hold it back anymore. No. The Tower is where everything that can't stand won't. You could be moving. I said you're not very happy where you are. You definitely could be moving to a new location. Five of Swords. And that's why, right? Tower, Five of Swords. I can't hold it back anymore. Eight of Wands, Six of Swords. I'm going for what my heart wants. Amazing. Let me see the Six of Wands and the Sun, because we have the Sun right here. Let me see the energy surrounding you. We have the Magician, Virgo and Gemini energy. The Magician is the master manifester, especially when I see the Emperor and the King of Pentacles. You can create any reality that you want. And the reality that you want, Two of Cups, Venus and Cancer energy. Could be a partnership, but this is somebody who lights up your life. Could be somebody that you want to walk this spiritual path with. Remember we saw the Queen of Cups? Well, that's who's in the Two of Cups here. Somebody who sees you on that level. This is partnership. And it's here with the spiritual path. So one more with the Two of Cups. Maybe you've been looking for this for a long time. I knew the Hanged Man was going to come out, didn't I? Right? And it could be that that is what you came to realize with the spiritual path, was what you needed and who this was, this person around you. As I mentioned, the Hanged Man sees things from a different perspective. Maybe you were put in a situation somehow where, again, you were not really, where you were able to do that, to reflect, to see things differently, what's important to you. Let me see the Two of Swords. But that's a spiritual partnership coming together. We have Angel of Balance, Venus and Mars, the Two of Wands and Temperance. Okay, funny I said Angel of Balance, the Two of Wands, the Two of Wands. So you're still in contemplation. Now Temperance is spiritual guidance though. And it is about having patience for these two cups, for the divine alchemy to be performed behind the scenes. So there's something also here about timing for you before you move forward. And patience. Double crossroads energy. And then we have the taking action of Mars. But look, 10 of Wands, 9 of Wands to the 10. You'd be tired of waiting for this. Let's get one more on the Two of Wands. He's dressed up like an explorer, wanting to explore a new path. The Nine of Pentacles and the King of Swords. Okay, we have two kings, the Emperor. This could have something to do with your finances, maybe becoming free so that you can navigate. Because as I mentioned, the Emperor and the King of Pentacles is a very committed person. Whether you're committed to a relationship or a corporation or a business you already created or whatever the case is, you need to have this kind of independence in order to build the dream that you want and to be successful at it. With the Hanged Man, Nine of Swords, maybe you realize that wasn't the case before. Let me see the Chariot and the potential outcome. Oh, interesting. I like this. We have the Ace of Pentacles. Beautiful. That's what that king does. This is investment. This is a seed that you can plant. We also saw the Magician, and I said you can create anything you want. This is about creating stability, creating a dream that's going to last. Look at how viable this big golden pentacle is. Okay, you're moving towards that new beginning. Seven of Pentacles. This is about making plans, putting in the effort. And maybe you've already, again, been building towards something that you now want to take further action on. You've been laying the groundwork. And I keep saying you know where you want to go. King of Wands, beautiful. Fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Look at, I said you know where you want to go. Okay, what? We have the third king showing up. King of Swords, King of Pentacles. King of Cups is missing. We saw the Queen, and I said maybe this person around you can see this side of you. I love this King of Wands. You guys know that. He's so passionate. He's so commanding of his own destiny. He's watching there the buildings of his past burn to the ground. He set it on fire with this wand of passion. And he's like, I know what I want. I know where I'm going. Mars energy coming through very, very strong. You can create, you know, whoa, oh my, you know where you're going and you know what you want. The King and the Queen of Wands. Well, yes, together these two are a creative force. Definitely they're unstoppable. This is a divine partnership. And these two coming together are very natural leaders, very charismatic, very passionate. For some of you, however, this could be somebody else. So let me get one more. Because we do have you needing potentially to leave behind something. I feel like you're moving towards that Queen of Cups. Let me see the Queen. Oh, okay. Yeah. Look at this. We have the Queen of Wands with a 10 of Swords. I saw you with the 9 of Swords. And then the Fool. The Fool is Aries energy. There's the leap of faith. So you guys will have to determine that for yourself, whether this Queen of Wands was somebody that you're leaving behind, or it's somebody who is offering you this, like that is the inspiration. Very passionate energy. Let me get one more with the Chariot. Where are you heading? But yeah, the Queen of Wands could be somebody in your past. The King and the Queen of Wands often, yes, they're very charismatic, but they can base their life on their charisma, if that makes sense to you. And we had that Queen of Cups with this Two of Cups. There's a part of you that maybe this person, this healer of the ages, sees in you. That what, yeah, it could be. Look at this. We have the Eight of Cups. That's a card about emotional courage. Having the courage to walk away from Eight of Cups, which isn't easy. Because 8 cups isn't nothing, it's quite a bit. But what's missing is 2 cups right here. And that is with this healer of the ages. And this is telling us, yes, that's what you're going to go for. The Fool. Aries Major Arcana. A leap of faith on a brand new beginning. For some of you, the King and Queen of Wands can be quite controlling with each other as well. And maybe that's been part of the dilemma, the holdup for you. But you're definitely leaving it behind. 10 of Swords, 8 of Cups. Okay, let me get a sip and then we're going to move to some oracles. Let's get a true love reading card. I have emotional freedom on the bottom. The Queen of Cups, right? Like I said, the Queen and King of Wands can be fairly controlling with each other. Or they can build an empire that's not built to last because it's built on, I don't want to say surface things, but yeah, maybe on what shows on the outside. Yeah, look at this. Spiritual maturity. You've changed. That's why. One more. We have that journey, right? A sacred woman. Now, this could be somebody intuitively that you communicate with as well. We saw the High Priestess and the Hanged Man. Okay. And one more, actually. Whoa. Okay. Emotional freedom wanted to come back out. There it is. And then we have creativity. with that King of Wands. Okay, interesting. Now what are we going to do? Let's see. Anything else from there? No. Okay. Let's get you some talisman. Consider these to be like power words that you can take away from the reading if they resonate with you, of course, like the whole reading. This is quite the situation. Look, the card that wanted to come out upright is cut ties. We saw the Ten of Swords with the Queen of Wands. What else? Protection. And I said, I feel like you're being very spiritually protected along this journey. Intuition. Interesting. Okay. Another one. And then destiny. So it's what I said. You know you're being called. And this is your destiny. It is about making a deeper commitment to yourself. Yeah, we have success. And then we have financial security. So when I said to you, you can create anything you want. And it looks to me like you have your eye on a spiritual partner here. Very deep. That is part of your destiny. Okay, let's do a romance angel. I didn't realize we had not. No. This one, I hope this resonated for you. I truly hope it helped you in some way. Remember what I said, just take what fits and leave what doesn't. Pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. You know what I always say about red flags around here? That's our own self-defensiveness. Generally speaking, red flags are things that come up that remind us of our past, right? But remember that if you've grown, and it's not the same. Healing family issues, your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. That's what I'm saying. Could be based on your past, those red flags. Because on the bottom, we have getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. So you could be very nervous about the depths you're being asked to go here. The Emperor and the Empress have been through a lot in life too. You don't get there easily. So this pay attention to the red flags and the healing, that's Chiron in action. So that you can then build the dream you truly want to build here, as I mentioned. Okay, let's close this reading off for you with a couple of cards from the Lover's Oracle. These can come out as advice, so certainly take it only as it resonates. My beloved, though we may be physically apart, spiritually we are always united. I'm saying, for love transcends space and time, nothing is missing. Beautiful. Very spiritual relationship. Wait, don't rush into it. Allow nature to take its course. Yeah, but the Eight of Wands. Boom. But we saw the Tower, right? So that's divine intervention as well. Give each other some space at the moment. Trust and have faith that all will work out for the best. We do see Eight of Cups heading towards that too. I keep saying you know where you're going. But there's definitely something you're dealing with first. Okay, last one. Deep in your heart, you already know the answer. Two Wands, Two of Swords. Do what feels right. That's beautiful. And then give blessings or give thanks for the blessing of love soon to come your way. Know that you deserve to be and have all that your heart truly desires. There's a lot about what your heart desires here. And the King of Wands, who acts on his heart. That's what I have for you guys. I hope it resonated. I hope it helped you in some way. I love you guys very much. I'll see you soon. Namaste, my friends.